The FDA approves a video game glove to help stroke victims. Which app can transform you into a Disney character? And find out what this artist is doing with thrift store art. All this and more, I'm Denise Salcedo and you're watching GameSlot. Today we have Renee Bravo via telephone, and he will be giving us an inside look of Undercity Comics. But first, let's get started with the latest. Are you the kind of person that likes to customize everything? I know I am. Well, PlayStation 4 users can now add a little extra touch to their devices with two new styles of faceplates. The first is a Bloodborne plate that features the artwork of the game's cover. The second is a PlayStation symbol plate. This one is my favorite because it makes the PlayStation look like it's being lit up from the inside. Super cool, right? It's got triangles, circles, crosses, and squares. Both of these are part of the Project Skylight beta program and only cost $25. But these blaze plates are limited edition, so make sure to get yours sooner rather than later. And that's not it. It seems everybody is getting in on custom designs. MLB 15 The Show is offering a free controller skin for your favorite MLB team. However, this is only for pre-orders. MLB 15 The Show will be available as of March 31st.
Touch your hair and it walks with me. All summer long we sang a song and then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts sang and the summer.
Has approved the first rehabilitation device that uses video games to help patients regain the use of their hands. Music Glove is a way for patients to do a series of hand grips, shifting the positions of their hands in sync with a song visualization, like Guitar Hero. Music Gloves helps the patients track their strength and speed and helps them keep motivated. So this definitely is a more fun way for people to develop their hand coordination and strength and also enjoy doing it. As we all know, summer is a time for hit movies, and one of them includes a movie about video games. Adam Sandler is doing the animated film Pixels. The story is about what happens when aliens misinterpret video feeds of classic arcade games as a declaration of war and attack the Earth in form of video games. Pixels is based out of the short film Pixels. Here is a look at the official trailer.
3, 2, 1. For our freedom and yours.
Some alien life force has sent real-life video games to attack us. Pac-Man's a bad guy?
Incoming!
Donkey Kong.
It's just a barrel. How bad can it hurt?
The only way to take down Pac-Man is with ghosts.
You want ghosts? These are your ghosts.
Oh, yeah! We're the only ones who can do this!
I'm kidding. We are all gonna die. I'm just sorry.
May I introduce to you Professor Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man.
Pac-Man is not bad. You'll see.
Professor Iwatani, what are you doing?
I will talk to him. He's my son. Hello, my sweet little boy. Look how big you've grown.
That's so sweet. He's so sweet.
I know. You're a good boy.
Somebody annihilate this stupid thing!
I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to see Pac-Man as a bad guy and what happens when video game tactics hit the earth. Super cool premise, can't wait to watch it out July 24th. Next, we have video game art. What happens to unwanted art in thrift stores? Most of the time, they sit there picking up nothing but dust. And although most thrift store shoppers just pass right by these paintings and see nothing, artist Dave Pollitt does. Pollitt has taken unsold paintings and has added a virtual twist by adding video game characters to the artwork. He calls his work, quote, art with a sense of humor. And it certainly is. It's beautiful and it feels like it brings the video game characters to life. I can definitely see this becoming a bigger trend with more artists. And great news for our rock music lovers. Fresh Planet has just announced a rock music spin-off called Rock On. This game will be out on iOS April 2nd and is set to test your rock knowledge to the extreme. There will be over 3,000 songs and 80 levels that you can play in different modes. We have Battlefield Hardline. The first-person shooter game allows gamers to now focus more on police and war crime versus a military setting. But military equipment is still going to be available. It will allow you to use tasers and handguns. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to.
Move in. 480 in progress. High-speed pursuit. Need backup. Taking heavy fire. Officer down. Officer down.
Police! Get your hands where I can see them! About time for anyone telling you off for all you need.
You know that whole criminal psychopath thing? These dudes method act that epic, man. You scared yet?
We're here to play bad cop, worst cop. Okay, let's jump right to worst cop.
So you gotta fire up.
Swear you cops get off on the...
I want a three-man team going in here and another here. Snipers, here and here.
Looks like Stoddard's got it all under control.
You're convinced that you're just one of the good guys. There's no such thing, son.
phone call from Renee Bravo of Undercity Comics. He's going to be giving us an inside look at some of the most popular comic books and what they're all about. Renee, how are you?
I'm doing good, Denise. Yourself?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
No problem. No problem.
What are the top selling comic books right now?
As of right now, I believe Mortal Kombat X is one of the most top ones because starting with that because it's a video game, obviously. Everyone wants to hop on to see what the story is going to be about. So right now it's on issue 4. And so far, each issue kind of takes place between different characters. So I think in the first issue, it kind of jumped into Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Second issue was Raiden. Third issue was Kano. And I believe the fourth issue was, Shao Kahn. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So that one, a lot of people have been reading, and they're really anticipating what's going to happen next.
Let's talk about Convergence #1. Tell me a little bit about that comic.
Convergence #1 is basically about, in the DC universe, in different parallel universes, Brainiac, a cyborg android, has been collecting cities from different times in different parallel universes throughout his entire life. And now that he's collected what he's wanted to collect, he decides to put them all into basically grab all these different characters from different parallel universes, from different times in the DC universe, and basically to see what happens when they all meet, which ends up being in an all-out war.
What kind of feedback are you getting from readers?
A lot of people have been anticipating this a lot. They want to see what happens because basically at the end game of all this, it's going to change up the DC universe a lot in a big way.
Wow. That's awesome. So what about Deadpool #250?
Number 250, Deadpool number 250 marks the last issue of Deadpool, which it's also hinted the death of Deadpool. So basically, it's gonna talk about how Deadpool's final issue goes and where he ties up all these stories that's been happening throughout his entire life, and that he's gonna be fighting all the people that he's fought in the past all at once. And then there's also a bunch of other writers that have been wanting to take on the Deadpool character, so they write little short stories as long as with everything else. And then also I think it's over 100 pages. So this comic is actually a really big comic. Also will be Dark Horse's new title, Rebels. And that one basically, it takes place in 1775 during the Revolutionary War. And it follows two men named Seth and Mercy. And basically it just shows where their lives were at during the Revolutionary War and what obstacles they had to face in history and stuff like that, and what we get to see George Washington in here and stuff like that. We get to see like redcoats fight each other. It's written by a very well-known writer named Brian Wood, he's very good writer in general. All the readers love him, regardless if you're a new reader or not. I always find people reading his stuff and they don't even know it, but he's actually a really good writer.
So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to have a little bit of sci-fi and also some politics mixed in there as well.
Yes, yeah.
So you also mentioned that Batman Arkham Knight is coming out as well. Is that coming out also on Wednesday?
Yes, that will be also coming out on Wednesday as well. Batman Arkham Knight is basically a prequel to the new game that will be coming out, I believe, in June. And this takes place literally right after Batman Arkham City, how the video game ended with Batman... with the death of Joker. And in this one, Batman has to deal with the death of Joker, and he feels that he is not ready to become. He's not worthy of being Batman anymore, I should say. Yes, but then he finds out that are a lot of ramifications after Joker's death. That there is something going after Commissioner Gordon. So he finally realizes that he has to team up with Harley Quinn to figure out what Joker's endgame is.
So that's basically taken off from the last video game. It's going from there, this new comic.
Yeah, yes.
Awesome. That sounds super cool. So of all of these, which ones are you most excited about?
For me, I would have to say Convergence, because that seems really interesting, especially it marks that it's going to be a big change up in the DC universe. So I'm kind of interested on that. And the next one would have to be the death of Deadpool, because obviously, you know, Deadpool's a beloved character in anyone's eyes, you know, and I just want to see how that all ends for him.
And tell me a little bit about Undercity Comics.
Undercity Comics, basically we're, you know, just a small comic book store, and we basically try to cater to anyone that is any nerd or geek culture related. You know, we try to hit, you know, video games or action figures, comic books, board games even. You know, it's just, you know, it's a small little comic book store that we have, and we get nothing but good feedbacks from everyone that comes in at the store. You know, we always have beloved customers that we enjoy having and stuff like that. There's pretty much, you pretty much have to come in and see how we are, you know.
Where are you guys located at exactly?
We are located on 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California.
Awesome. Now, what are your links to your social media to where people can follow you? I know you guys also have a podcast. Tell me a little bit about that, where we can hear your podcast at.
Yes, our podcast is called Undercity Podcast, and it's on www.undercitycomics.podbean.com. So that would automatically link them into our podcast, but then also they could go to our Facebook page, which is Undercity Comics or Undercity Comics Uptown as well too, and that will also give them the links to our podcast as well.
Do you have a Twitter, Instagram?
No, we don't. We just have the Facebook, which gets a lot more buzz.
Awesome. Now, the last thing that I want to tell you is thank you so much for calling us, and we can't wait to hear back from you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Renee.
All right. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Renee, for talking to us today. To all of our viewers, don't forget to check out the new comics and stop by Undercity. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, our game and app reviews. The second I found out about this app, I immediately downloaded it. Such a simple concept, and still I was shocked they had it. YouTube Kids. YouTube is of course the most popular place to find videos, and kids of all ages are using it. So it makes sense that the developers of YouTube would create a version of the app that is appropriate for their younger viewers. I was able to give my 2-year-old cousin the iPad, and she easily navigated through YouTube Kids. The free app is designed so it's easy for children to go from video to video without coming across any other inappropriate videos, like they normally would if using the original YouTube app. YouTube Kids also allows parents to set timers and turn off the search engine. The only bad reviews this app got is that it's more tailored for toddlers versus kids around 7 and up. But personally, I think this was a great effort put forward by the YouTube team, because whether parents like it or not, older kids probably won't want to switch over to YouTube Kids when they already have YouTube.
Okay, so do you want to tell a story?
Sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now everything is popping into my brain. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Alex. 3 sisters, a bunny, 2 twins. He got caught in a bubble, and then he was floating around. He went to France, and then he sees Dracula and a few ghosts and Frankenstein. And then the robot came and ate the whole town. And everyone went like crazy. And then they had to destroy the robot. That was the only thing, so they put it on the sun, so. Because since the sun is made of gas, it couldn't eat anything there. He got surprised, and then he jumped back and popped the bubble and he fell. The end. It's really weird.
Next, we have Wonder Ball Heroes. In this game, you have to help the White Rabbit get to Wonderland. You do so by clearing up all the red pegs on the screen. As you go up in levels, the difficulty of the puzzle increases, and each new level takes you to a unique new place. Overall, this game is fun, keeps you going level to level, and I think you should definitely download this app. Ready? Freeze! Next we have the game Freeze. Amazing graphics, the thunder and the music set the right kind of haunted mood, and by level 3, I was already frustrated. Basically, you're being timed to get the rolling eyeball into the spiral by twisting and turning the structure, and in certain levels you can use the freeze button to hold the eyeball in place. You die each time the hero hits the structure, so don't let that happen. This game was awesome and will keep the wheels in your brain twisting and turning along. In this game, you have to drag to connect the matching colors with pipe to create a flow. You have to pair all the colors and cover the entire board to complete the puzzle. But the location of the dots on the board is what makes each puzzle more challenging. This game is super fun, especially if you enjoy puzzle games. The premise is simple, but it's the execution that takes some time. Lastly, are you a pretty princess or an evil witch waiting to poison the young maiden with an apple? Or maybe you want to be a pirate with one eye? Or part of Star Wars? Well, if you can't figure it out on your own, you don't have to. Disney has created the new iPhone app, Show Your Disney Side, and it already has over 1 million downloads and over 11 million customizations have been done. And good news, the app developers are working on adding more characters. That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure to stay active and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at GameSlotShow. Submit us cool drawings to any of these sites for a chance to get your work featured on the show, and let us know which games we should review next. I'm Denise Salcedo. Thanks for watching.